Your Nels for talkSPORT MMA. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Sergio Pettis ahead of his rematch with Kyoji Horiguchi at Rizin 47 on June 9th. How's it going, mate?
Going well, man. Just got in yesterday to Tokyo. First time here. Could feel the energy. Definitely a little jet lag the first day, but I got my first session and I feel great. Everything's on point. Mentality, physicality, spiritual. Yeah, man, it's been a journey. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, well, first and first, I just want to say congrats on the recent wedding. How's married life treating you?
You know, it is exactly the same as being with my fiance. For the past 8 years. So it's awesome, man. We had a great wedding. Our family got together, and definitely a memorable night that I kind of somewhat don't remember. It was yeah, a lot of drinking that night.
Nice. And then you go straight from that into a fight camp. How's that been for you? It's a bit different because from just looking at your record, I think you've only fought outside the US. Is it once or twice? So traveling all the way to Japan, that's a big deal.
Yeah, big deal, man. But and I'm at that age now where I'm ready for this. I'm ready to step outside, go overseas. That was a goal of mine since I started the sport, was to go to other countries and perform and get to do what I love. And now at the age of 30 years old, I'm having my 30th fight in Japan under Pride rule sets. Crazy, man. A lot of firsts for this trip. First time flying first class, first time in Tokyo, first time fighting with soccer kicks and stomps. Yeah, very blessed, man. Very blessed.
And obviously, yeah, you just mentioned soccer kicks, stomps, things like that. They're not something you would typically be doing in a normal MMA camp. What do you do to prepare for that? You just kind of, you know, add a little bit into camp, or is it just something you feel on the night? What are you thinking in regards to them new rules and how you can utilize them?
Yeah, I've been the whole camp. I've been utilizing them. Getting comfy with them thrown at me and comfy throwing them myself. So, yeah, it's a whole new game. It opens up the door a bit. I could actually strike off my back when he's on top of me. Same with me. If I'm on top, I could knee kick, soccer stomp. So it just brought a new dynamic to the game, man. It was kind of brought my love back for the sport a bit. Don't get me wrong, I love mixed martial arts, MMA, but just something new, something exciting. And yeah, I'm at that age now where I'm ready for that.
Yeah, especially when you've been doing it for so long and just, it gets repetitive, picking up the same skills. So to have that chance at 30 years old to try something new and learn new skills must be epic. So we've got to talk about the last one very briefly. It snapped that six-fight win streak. You were really on a tear. You were doing well. How have you dealt with that loss? It is a setback, but you're straight into another big fight.
Yeah, I think I needed that loss, honestly. Fighting for the title is it's very stressful. It's a whole new game when you got something to lose, like something big. Like everybody's out for you. It's a lot of stress, and I was living a little paranoid. I really couldn't enjoy my life because I was always worried about the next thing, the next guy, the next competition. So after Patchy beat me, it was almost like a reset. Like I found like how much I truly love the sport. Because that last camp I had with Patchy, I was just kind of going through some things, man, mentally, physically, that it's the first time I actually disliked the sport. I actually hated what I did, and I remember even talking to my wife about it. She's like, "You sound so different. This isn't you." And yeah, man, I think I needed to go through that loss to come out on the other side a better man and just have that brightness to me again. Times were getting a little dark, so I feel refreshed.
Good to hear. And we mentioned before you are fighting in Japan first time, really traveling, outside of America. What's the first impressions of the country? It's certainly on my bucket list. So can you sell it to me?
Oh yeah, you need to come here, man. I've only been here for like 24 hours and I already love it. The culture, the people. Um, it's so busy here too. Like, we just went past the Shibuya crossing and it was like wild to see how everybody just goes about their day like with so many people around them. Um, everyone's been very respectful. The streets are clean as can be. It's very, very different out here from the US.
And obviously you're there for a big fight, Horiguchi, and I'm delighted that you are fighting them because it just gives us a chance to talk about that KO again. Famous back fist KO in December 2021. That seems to be obviously your brother is known for that Showtime kick. You're known. I feel like you're going to be forever known for that back fist. Now, do you think you can ever top that moment?
Yeah, man, it was a surreal moment. That the 3.5 rounds before that, I was definitely frustrated. I was getting outpositioned, outworked, and that fourth round, my coach said the right things, and just got me into that mode I needed to be in. And I knew I needed to go for it. And it turned out so well, man. It turned out better than I expected. I did feel like I was starting to pick up the tide a little bit, like catching him with some body shots, hitting him with some harder shots. And yeah, once I hit that spinning back fist, it felt fake at the moment. I saw him go out completely, and mentally I was like, "Oh, I'm about to hit you as hard as possible for these past 3.5 rounds." And I just came back to me like, "No, it's done. It's done." I stopped myself during that, and I'm glad I did because that's who I am. I'm a martial artist, and the job was done. So no need to put unnecessary damage on another human being. I got a lot of respect for Kyoji.
Yeah, and it was a viral KO anyway, but I think that does top it off the fact that you did hold back in that moment. A lot of people wouldn't, so kudos for that.
Thank you.
From the fight itself, what did you learn? Because usually, if it's the biggest fight of your career, you get a KO in that fashion, and you do so well. There's not really much to work on, but as you said, then first 3 rounds are tough. So there's a lot you can take and improve on going into this rematch. Is that the way you've treated this rematch camp?
100%. I didn't have that performance that besides the knockout, the performance before that was, just unquestionable for me. Some unchecked boxes that I didn't mark, and I learned a lot from that fight. I was expecting a stand-up war. I was expecting us to go out there and bang it out, and he did the opposite of what I was expecting. He took me down. ATT's got great wrestling and great coaches, and they knew where to put me, and he put me there. And this fight, I feel like things are gonna be a little different. He's gonna I think do the opposite of what I think. I think he's gonna shoot in, and I think he's gonna wrestle me. But this time, I feel like he's gonna bang with me a little bit. We're in a ring. It's a little bit smaller, not as much moving around. I think we're gonna have some exchanges, and especially being in front of his hometown, I feel like he's gonna, want to show out and want to get that revenge as he should.
Absolutely. And when you're, daydreaming about the fight, you envision how it finishes. How would you get your hand raised at the end?
I see me knock him out again, man. And this time I'm gonna do it with my right hand. I did it with my left hand. This time I'm gonna do it with my right hand, and maybe throwing a couple soccer kicks, some stomps, stuff that I've been practicing. And my last fight with Patchy, I really didn't get to show everything I got to work on. I got finished in the second round, so I didn't really get to go out there and show everything that I've learned from that camp. So yeah, man, I think you guys are gonna see a brand new Sergio Pettis. A brand new style and a lot more confidence and a lot more risk taking.
Yeah, and after this one, you're in a really nice position where, you go and get this win. You're part of that PFL Bellator banner now. There's a $1 million tournament. You've got, history with the champion. In an ideal world, what is next for you after this one?
Yeah, I mean, I got some opportunities at Bellator and PFL, which I can't say yet, but you guys will hear about them very soon. Right now, the main focus is obviously Horiguchi, but yeah, there's some good stuff in store. I think I'd hopefully fight 3 times this year. I started off a little late, but all goes well. My body is healthy. I would like to compete 2 more times before this year's over.
And looking ahead beyond that, even what's left for you in the sport? Because you're only 30, but you seem like you've just been around forever. You've achieved so much. Once you've lost that title and you've kind of got that freedom, as you said, the crown's heavy, isn't it? When you're wearing it, what you've got a new path now. What is the goal? What do you want to achieve?
What I grew up watching GSP, and I think like a champion like that can come back and get a belt again. Just like how he did. He lost his belt, but he improved and came back and got it back. And that's where I see myself going, man. I want to get this belt back, and maybe another belt. There's some opportunities over here at Rizin, which I'm more than open to. All goes well against Horiguchi. There's possibly a title shot against one of their top guys, and I think that would be awesome to have all the belts, the Pettis brothers, the UFC belt, WC belt, Bellator belt, PFL belt maybe, and possibly a Rizin belt too. So I'm motivated, man. These next couple 8 years is going to be highlight reels and belt chasing, and that's what I want to do.
Very exciting times, and I just want to go back because when we have someone like yourself on, it's always great to hear about past fights, and our fans are always interested to hear two things, and I just wondering if you can answer this for me. Your toughest opponent and your hardest hitting opponent, is it the same guy, and why was he so hard?
Um, I would say my hardest hitting opponent was probably Brian Benoit. That was the first time I got clipped and TKO'd, and learned a lot from that fight. I was like 22 years old and went into the flyweight division for the first time. And yeah, he hit me with a hell of a left hook and changed my whole perspective on the sport, man. I took myself serious after that. I stopped partying. I stopped, doing stuff that I shouldn't be doing. And made the changes that were necessary to be a better athlete and a better man. Um, Hardest hitting for sure. And I think my toughest fight, there's a couple of tough fights that I had. Cejudo was really, really frustrating. Rob Font jabbed me up all night in my hometown. That was humbling. So yeah, man, I would say Rob Font actually was probably my toughest fight just because it was in front of my hometown. And the first jab he hit me with scratched my cornea. And I really couldn't see my right eye the whole time. I felt like my eye was hanging out and kind of looked like I had a webbed eye, like how it felt. And yeah, man, that fight was interesting. It showed me how tough I was. But yeah, that jab was on point.
And you are part of, what is for me personally the most stacked division in MMA, the bantamweight division right now. From your mind, who's the best?
Man, I mean, at the moment right now, it's Sean O'Malley. I think Sean O'Malley's up there. I'm a big fan of his style. I'm a big fan of what he's doing. The stand-up game, his dynamic striking, his swag in general. Right now, I think he's one of the best at the moment. We'll see how he does against Marab. Marab's a killer, with that wrestling and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I would say Sean O'Malley, Patty Mix, and man, I'm gonna throw myself in there too. I say Sergio Pettis.
Of course, you got to do that. And I
Sir,
recently
yes, sir.
seen that you were training with Bilal Muhammad. Obviously, from an English point of view, we are very excited about him coming over and fighting Leon for that title. So just curious how he's looked and what type of chance do you give him of coming into our backyard and taking that belt from Leon?
Man, Bilal is one of the hardest working athletes I know. Humble man, hard work, motivating. His lifestyle is motivating. He's always in the gym, and it's crazy to see with or without a fight. He's in there working, and he's got a goal, and I believe it has what it takes to achieve it. Leon Edwards is a great athlete. I mean, obviously amazing champion, but he's got a tough test with Bilal, especially the way Bilal has just been talking and living. You could tell that he really wants his belt. He's hungry for it. You could see it in his eyes, and yeah, man, I think it's going to be a hell of a fight.
Brilliant. It's going to be a banger. And first up, we've got your one, which is from what you're saying, it sounds like it's going to be another war between you two guys. So can't wait for that. And I just want to say thanks for your time today. Good luck with the rest of fight week and fight night. Can't wait to watch.
Thank you so much, boss. I
Thanks,
appreciate your
mate.
time, man. Have a good one.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.